Welcome back, everyone. And once again, if you support the president, you have no rights. You should be all but shot into the sun. And yet again, it's coming from the talking heads on The View, most notably in this one, Joy Behar. You see, they're comparing Donald Trump not colluding with the Russians and not obstructing, and now saying you've had over 2 years, you have the Mueller report, you do not need to subpoena everyone he talked to badger them for hours on end until you make them stutter so that you can claim they lied. He's treating them like the preteen who keeps demanding their way, and they don't like it. So, of course, they're saying that he should be arrested. It's worse than Watergate, where I believe it was 13 minutes of tape was erased, whereas Hillary deleted thousands upon thousands of emails and bleached bitted servers. But Donald Trump won't just lay down and cooperate with Congress trying to bully former campaign workers of his into not remembering which adjective they used. And it's insane, is what it is. You see, right after the firing of James Comey, Robert Mueller was brought on as special counsel and had the investigation into Russian collusion, despite reports that his investigation was actually finished before the 2018 midterms. It is finished now, and as of March, the report is available. For you and I, who are not members of select committees in Congress, we can read 92% of it. The 8% that we cannot is redacted according to U.S. law. Congress, at least certain members, can read 98% of it. 2% is redacted, as is required by law due to grand jury information. The whiner babies in Congress can't stand that A.G. Barr won't just obey them. They have held him in contempt for not breaking the law. They have subpoenaed information they're not allowed to see by law. And even when their own people admit obeying the subpoena would mean breaking the law, they demand that they be obeyed. And honestly, it's not going to stop until it probably gets to the Supreme Court, at which point the Trump lawyers need to simply argue. The Mueller report is available. They may read everything but the grand jury information, which is what must be redacted by U.S. law. All of that information will show, as it showed Robert Mueller, there was no collusion, there was no obstruction. And we're tired of them saying, we're not going to read the report. You must come down and tell us what you said months and months and months ago, pardon me, so that we can take our own notes. Then we'll go read it, and if your words don't match, you'll go to jail. See, they've already done that with General Flynn, where they, one, lied to him and told him he did not need a lawyer, which he should have known he did. They twisted his words, and when he didn't remember verbatim a conversation that happened long before, they said he was lying. If I asked you about an email you received 6 months ago and you have not looked at since, could you tell me the exact contents of it? Who it was from? What the subject line was? Everything they said in that email? Word for word? No. I doubt even someone with an eidetic memory would be able to remember that clearly one email from 6 months ago that they've not looked at since. But this is the overall plot of the Democrats. Keep pushing until we make them do something we can arrest them for. Issue subpoenas that have no teeth, hold in contempt for not breaking the law, on and on and on. And they're doing this very simply because Attorney General Barr is now investigating those who started the whole Russiagate crap. But you see, to Joy Behar and Whoopi Goldberg and the rest, lowering taxes, creating jobs, creating the strongest economy we've seen in decades, sending terrorists running for the hills, keeping a madman in North Korea from launching nukes, negotiating with China to stop them unfairly taking advantage of our economy. All of these things are horrible crimes that are tantamount to Watergate. And ultimately, we get down here where we say here that, you know what I was thinking? Nixon would be, he would say I was in the wrong period of history because he would have gotten away with everything just like this corrupt president is getting away with. This is an unbelievable corrupt president, corrupt administration, and the Republican Party is right behind him, and they should all be thrown in jail as far as I'm concerned. Lock them up. I wonder if Miss Behar would be willing to say that lock her up is allowed speech now, because she's saying lock them all up, as meaning all of the people who support President Trump. The very party that decries overcrowded prisons wants to send anyone and everyone who won't help them overthrow the president to jail. And if you complain about it, you're part of the problem, so you get into their view, their crosshairs, as needing to go to jail. This is, honestly, it is pretty much the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. For over 2 years, we've heard Russia, Russia, Russia corrupt, Russia corrupt, Russia corrupt. And for over 2 years, it's all played out to nothing. And the Democrats keep playing the same cards, expecting a different result. It's going to be extremely interesting here before too long when Attorney General Barr steps up and says, well, we have proof of these people who helped create the FISA or the Steele dossier, which we know to be full of lies. Therefore, that's falsifying evidence. And we know these people were responsible for walking it to the FBI and walking it into certain people. That's illegal. And this judge issued a warrant without reading it. That's illegal. This person lied about it. That's illegal. This person spied. That's illegal. And we're going to start seeing them drop like flies, and those who don't will, of course, be decrying the rampant, politically biased attacks on the opposing party. We have reached the time in history where liberals are literally the party of no evidence on the planet can convict me, and a lack of evidence convicts you. We saw it with Judge Kavanaugh's confirmation, where Senator Schumer himself actually said that the burden of proof lies on the accused. Literally a U.S. Senator saying that you are guilty until proven innocent, which is the exact opposite of our legal system. And the media fawns all over it. They jump on the bandwagon and they cheer and they applaud and they crow about how they're helping the country. They're saving democracy, which we're not a democracy. We are a republic. And unfortunately, it's going to either end up with the arrest of so many people that NBC, CBS, ABC, MSNBC, CNN, even Fox News is going to be left with their numbers almost decimated. And we're going to see them crying, and we're going to see them whining, and we're going to see their ratings tank even more than they already have. And we may see networks crumble. Because imagine if a chief political correspondent for CNN goes to jail for aiding in an attempted coup. Then that's going to make them look at CNN, and so on and so forth. And as cold as it sounds, it's time. Just over 240 years ago, when the British ordered us to disarm and be pliant little serfs, we said no. We fought a bloody war, and we gained our independence. We kicked them out. Now, our own elected government is telling us to give up your guns, be pliant little serfs, and let us overthrow the president anytime we want. And we're expected to roll over and show our bellies. And when we don't, we're attacked as criminals. And honestly, it needs to stop, and about the only way I can see it stopping now is for very high-profile people to wind up in Guantanamo Bay or another prison for their actual crimes. I don't know. Insanity needs to be dealt with, and it's only a matter of time before we see what that means. But I've talked long enough. Let me know what you think. As always, keep it civil. We don't learn from argument, we learn from debate. Please also remember to like and share this video, as well as to subscribe and turn on notifications so that you're among the first to know of all new content as it is posted. Until next time, everyone have a wonderful day.